Hey everyone, welcome back to POL SCI 701, Techniques of Political Science Research. This week we're going to talk about discovery of patterns in new types of data that we haven't encountered before. And specifically, we will talk about three different types of data that were not analyzed in any of the previous chapters. And these are textual data, network data, as well as spatial data. And with these three types of data, we'll talk about different forms of exploratory data analysis that we can use to inductively learn about the underlying patterns and structure of these data. So to move to the outline for the videos for this week, before we get to the actual content of the reading and the chapter in the EMI book, based on the last Q&A session or the last two Q&A sessions, there were still some open questions about interpreting OLS coefficients and a little bit of confusion about how to interpret specific model outcomes. So before I start with the content of the lecture for this week, I want to spend some time really going through step by step the interpretation of OLS coefficients in different scenarios. And hopefully those will help you also answer some of the questions in the assignment, as well as in this assignment, as well as the upcoming assignments. And then I will focus of the three types of data that are discussed in the EMI book. I will focus specifically on textual data. And I will go through some of those analysis and will focus on kind of identifying, for example, methods to identify authorship of text, and I will introduce some other concepts that are common in text analysis. The network and spatial data section we can discuss in more detail in the Q&A session, depending on timing and which topic you're more interested in. But for the videos for this week, I think focusing on interpreting OLS coefficients and really get those basics down, and then talking about textual data will be sufficient for this week. Okay. So as always, let's get to the to-do list for this week. The task to complete before our next Q&A session on November 9th. Is of course the lecture videos as always. Please read chapter 5 in quantitative social science, which focuses on discovery in unstructured data like text, and then work on assignment 8, which will be posted on Canvas in our Studio Cloud, and the submission on Canvas is written here as November 10th. But I will actually, now that we shifted the previous assignments back to Friday, the coming assignment will be due on Friday as well. So not November 10th, but rather, let's see, that will be November 13th. Okay, I will change that in the slides. It's going to be November 13th. All right. In the next video, I'm going to start talking about interpreting OLS coefficients.